Hi friends, welcome back. But if you're new here, welcome to Kelsey's Corner booth. My name is Kelsey. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you can get notified whenever I post any video. Now let's get on to the video. I'm excited for this video. I think I say that in every video. But I got this table off one of our Facebook pages that gives unwanted items away for free. And I saw this pop up and I was crossing my fingers that I get it because it's such a beautiful piece. There was really nothing wrong with it. And as you can tell, I'm absolutely the best at taking before photos. Not really. I'm learning and practicing that. There was really nothing wrong with it. It was just dirty. I mean, it needed a good cleaning. So I'm using this stuff called Krud cutter. I got it at Walmart. Probably my favorite place to shop. I literally go there all the time. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to sand this before or just leave it alone. I read online to sand, and then I also read to not sand. So I'm kind of doing my own little experiment. I sanded the legs. I want to say they were pretty easy, but they gave me a run for my patience, that's for sure. I'm not a huge fan of like the bubble looking legs. I really like the block legs, or like more, I guess, more modern, you could say, or simple. But I was sanding them and it took, I want to say maybe an hour and a half to sand them and get all the little creases and all that stuff. And then after a while I just kind of sanded the big parts and ignored the little creases. But I tried my best, and I'm doing my little experiment, so I'm seeing what the paint does on a sanded surface and a not sanded surface. So I'm sanding the legs, as you can see, but I'm not going to sand the chairs, but that will come later. So at that same trip to Walmart that I got the cleaning supplies, I had seen a lot of YouTubers using chalk paint. I've never used chalk paint ever on a project, so I wanted to try it out. I got this one. It's called Tate Green, and it looked kind of like a sagey green, light green, and as you know from my previous videos, green is my favorite color. I could paint everything green. It's just a very nice, calming color.
Hello, hello.
Oh, you scared the I mean, I was like, what the heck are you doing? Oh, those are pretty.
Yeah.
Are you recording right now?
Yeah.
Hey, you got it on camera.
So I don't get startled very easily. You can ask my husband or anybody. He tries to scare me all the time and I don't get startled, but I wasn't expecting my best friend to get off work so early, and yes, we just walk into each other's houses. That's just what we do. And I don't think my brain and my mouth tied up. So instead of saying what are you doing, I meant like what's going on. Like I didn't understand what was going on. So I grabbed the spray matte clear spray paint. The spray matte clear spray paint. Wow. It was definitely cheaper than the chalk brand paint by a lot. And of course I got it at, you know, my favorite store, Wally World. So you just see me using one coat here, but I did 2 coats on pretty much everything. I think I didn't film a lot of the clear coats like on the chairs and stuff. I probably forgot or something. But yeah, I love the way it looked after the clear coat. I let it dry. I think I let it dry overnight, and it was really, really cold. You can see I'm like in my hoodie and fuzzy socks and stuff like that. It was chilly. It's been chilly here lately in Arizona, a lot earlier than normal. Usually it gets cold around January, February time. But it's been pretty chilly here, starting in like October. So we're loving it. I'm loving it. It's more fall weather. It's just been very beautiful lately. So I'm starting on these chairs, and of course my spray gun does not want to work. So if you guys have a recommendation on a spray gun, please comment down below what you recommend, what's been the best for you, what works on like all paint types. My spray gun has just been giving me lots of difficulty, and I thinned out my paint. I did just everything, you know, you're supposed to, and it just does not work. I don't know what is going on. So, yes, if you have a recommendation, please, please, please comment down below. I would love to hear what you guys like, what you guys don't like, all that stuff. But I'm sitting here painting, and as I'm painting, going through my head is, I am not about to hand paint this entire chair. The legs, the back, everything. I'm not about to do it. So I'm trying my best. I'm giving it like 40% because I'm kind of like in that mindset of like, I'm not going to do this. I'm already not happy with having to paint each little thing. So I stopped the video. I went to Walmart again. And, I got me some of the Tate green spray paint. Luckily I think they had like 6 or 7 cans, but I only grabbed 4. I didn't think it would take all 4. So I was like, okay, you know, I can return whatever I don't like or just keep it for another project because it's a really pretty color. I ended up using every single bit of all 4 cans. I either may have a heavy finger nozzle, so I might have spray painted pretty heavily. I am not sure why, but it took every single bit of all the paint. I was shocked. I was like, oh, okay. But in my experiment, if you guys remember, I did not sand these chairs. I wasn't going to. I wanted to see what the paint does on the chairs without being sanded, anything. And I'm going to tell you, there was no difference. No difference at all. And it's like a silky, oh well, on this chair I sanded a little bit, but the table, the chairs, everything was a very silky, like shiny area, and that chalk paint really stuck to it. It didn't give me any problems. Going on the first coat was kind of weird because, you know, when you think of painting, the first coat is going to be like thick and you're not going to see anything through it. But once you put that second coat on, it almost automatically, like, immediately covered all the wood, everything. I'm also betting if you use a primer, which I didn't, obviously, if you use a primer, I'm sure that would help a lot too. So any kind of like spray primer or painting primer, I would say with lighter colors, you could do like a white. And then if you're using like a dark color paint, use like a dark primer. Now, I've never used them, like I said, so I wouldn't know where to get them. I'm assuming like Ace or Walmart or somewhere like that, or even on like Amazon. But that probably would have helped a lot too, with the paint sticking on the first try and all this stuff. But this spray paint worked really well, and I was really happy with it. I didn't have any complaints with it, and the color just came out so beautiful. I love this color. It's gorgeous. Here is the before shot on the tops. I haven't sanded them yet, but I am wanting to sand them completely down. Not like crazy down, but like just take off the top layer, the shininess, and get really to like the bare wood. Because this table is heavy. Trying to get that out of my car was like by myself. I don't even know why I attempted it, but I had to. But it was a very, very heavy tabletop. Do y'all know how difficult it was to pull this table apart? Because it's like that leaf in where you can put the leaf in the middle. That is the most difficult thing to pull apart by yourself. I'm just saying. It was, and I didn't want to like, so right here at the edge you can see me kind of like pulling it apart, and I didn't want to sand it to where it like made an indent almost. So I was trying to pull it apart so it didn't do that. And that is the most difficult thing to do by yourself. Especially with this table. Usually they just slide apart. Most tables do. But this one was stuck. And not that it was sticky or anything. But it was just like probably have never had that leaf be put in. You know, most people don't put them in unless they have big families or they have people come over for the holidays and then they take it out. I remember doing that as a kid. We had a big like bar height table that had a leaf in it, and we only put the leaf in whenever we had like Thanksgiving or Christmas or people coming over. That leaf usually stayed under my parents' bed. That's usually where it stayed. But yeah, that was the most difficult thing, is to pull that dang table apart. I couldn't believe it. Sanding these sides was probably the most difficult part, even over the legs. This was very difficult. So you see me, I'm getting comfy because I know it's going to take me a while. And it did. It took me about 45 minutes to an hour and a half, I think. I just remember I looked at the clock and then it was lunchtime by the time I was finished, and it was just, I could not believe it. I was like, what in the world? I mean, it took, I really just wanted to like sand it straight down, like almost like a diagonal, but that would have taken too much off the sides, and I don't know how that would have looked. I'm sure it would look fine if I like did it correctly, but this took quite some time. A long time, but I did not get it super perfect. It's not like every little nook and cranny I got into. I just did majority of it, tried to get what I could, and then called it a day, because this took a while. I had to start getting inventive because my thumbnail was just getting chewed up. It was almost like going to the nail salon and getting your nail filed over and over in the same spot. It was really hurting. So I just grabbed this random file in my husband's like stash of tools. You know, use what you got, be inventive. This stuff, sometimes I just kind of go with the flow with a lot of things. If I don't like it, I'll change it up. If I don't plan that far ahead for things, just because I know something is going to either go wrong or it's not going to go the way I want it to. So I just have that idea and kind of run with it, and then if I need to change it, I'm not so upset to change it. That's helped me through a lot of things in life. Just, you know, I prepare for the worst because you just gotta know that things may not go according to your plan. So I got this stain that I really liked in Walmart called American Walnut. And let's just say it was not the color I wanted. I'm not a big fan of red stains, wall paint. I mean, if that's your thing, that's your thing. Go right on ahead. Red to me is very energetic, very spicy, very feisty, everything like that. And you can see my brain here is like not working, trying to figure out what to do. But red is a very intense color for me, and that's supposed to be on like cars, or like my blender is red. Things that produce a lot of energy, electricity, stuff like that. Like that's where red is supposed to be for me. But on furniture, on walls, I don't like it. My husband, on the other hand, absolutely loves the color red. He loves it. He wanted our bedroom painted red. I was like, no, I can't do it. I won't be able to sleep. But this is how I got that stain in my last video, which I'll link up above here. And that color was ebony and dark walnut. And I really, really loved the mix of the two colors, and it just came out wonderful. So just play around with your stains. Make sure they're the same kind of stain. You know, oil, oil, water, water, whatever. But play around with it. You don't have to go with just the color that you get, or, you know, anything like that. But I ended up going to Ace and getting a stain called Ipswich Pine. If I am saying that wrong, let me know, but I probably am. I liked the color of it. I was really worried that it was not going to be the color that I wanted. You can see me here sanding all that red off. It ended up turning the wood pink, which was funny, but one of my twins would have loved it. Here is a little look-see into our Thanksgiving. I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving yourselves. I'm pretty sure we ate just way too much. You see all this food. That's how we prep for our turkeys. We brine them. And there's my husband. He was so proud of it. He smoked all these turkeys, and my son in the first picture, that was his very first turkey he did by himself. He did really, really good, and I was so proud of him. But we were giggling at the double turkeys in one pan. That was funny. But he was just in his element, and I love how beautiful it was. He misses smoking meats and all that stuff. He doesn't get to do it a lot, so I'm glad he got to do it this year, and he got to do a bunch of it. So you saw that I was doing the sides in a little while back. I did not end up finishing them that day. Things just kind of caught up to me, and Thanksgiving and all that stuff, just family life, and that's the most important thing here in this house. So I put that aside, and then after Thanksgiving, I just kind of finished everything, and they came out really good. Sorry for the lighting and all that stuff. My house isn't very good for that, and I did not want to move this table back outside, so I just did it in my living room. And they came out really, really good. I did 2 to 3 coats on the table, on the sides, and you can see everybody relaxing in the back. But I did 2 to 3 coats on the chalk paint on the side. It came out wonderfully, and I was very happy with it all. So this is that stain color. It came out, it's very watery. It was very different than what I'm used to. But it came out and it looks almost like the previous color. Just, it was nicer, and I didn't want to mess with the top coat. I mean, that color that I sanded it to was very beautiful. I probably could have just done like a clear coat and been done with it. But I liked the color that this added, just a little bit of that natural look to it. Yes, it's that yellowy kind of color in this light, but once I wiped it off and took the picture, it lightened up a lot, and it looks really, really good, and I was really happy with it. I'm glad I didn't stay with that red. I would have had a Christmas themed table, and that's not me. I'm not very, I don't like the whole red, and I mean, I think Christmas is awesome, the red and greens and all that stuff, but not for a table or things that you will use daily or, periodically. So when do you guys start decorating for Christmas? We start the day after Thanksgiving. My husband says we need to give Thanksgiving a chance. But this is just the start of it. I did this in between paint drying and stain drying and all this stuff. So, and then here I am putting on the clear coat of the stain. I just used the Polycrylic clear coat. I like it. It's very durable, especially with 4 kids. There's not a lot of damage that can happen with it. We endure paint. We got pencil markings, all sorts of stuff, and I can just wipe it right off my other table, and it's like beautifully new. I love the clear coat, and I did 2 coats of this on the top, and I also did 2 coats on the chairs and all that stuff. So 2 coats was my magical number. I know some people use more coats, but I just did 2 thin coats, and to me that does the trick. It did it wonderfully. So let's take another look at the before. It wasn't horrible, like I said, but it could definitely use some work. Now look at this after. Holy moly. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making this for you. If you haven't already, go check out my other videos. See you next time. Bye!